Hello, and welcome to Glisser. In today's training session, we're going to walk you through how to use your Glisser account. Step 1, go to the Glisser website at glisser.com and log into your account using your username and password. Upon logging into your Glisser account for the first time, you will want to brand it. To custom brand your Glisser account, click the settings icon on the left side of the screen, and you will notice 3 options appear to the right. 1, you have the option between a light or a dark theme. You can customize the highlight color or accent color simply by inputting the specific hex code, or click on the color icon to select the appropriate color. Finally, you may want to upload a custom logo to your Glisser account. We have it preset to the Glisser logo, but you can simply click on this button and upload your own logo to Glisser. So to recap, choose your theme, your accent color, and your logo. And that's all you need to do to custom brand your Glisser account. We are now going to go back to the main presentation dashboard and create our first Glisser session. To create a Glisser session, click Add Presentation on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to want to select either a PowerPoint or a PDF file to create your Glisser session. Upon uploading your PowerPoint or PDF file, you'll want to take 2 important actions. 1, we want to change the name of our file in our session. Simply click into the text field and name this session anything you'd like. Just below that, you will see the option to change the URL. Simply type in the customizable URL you would like your audience to input to access your session. You have now created your Glisser session, given it a name, and provided the custom URL. Next, we're going to want to adjust the settings of our Glisser session. To complete setup of your Glisser session, we will want to edit the session by clicking Edit on the right-hand side of the screen. You will notice that your slides have all populated here in the session from your uploaded file. And going down the right-hand side, we are going to complete setup of this session. First, let's make an adjustment to the background image that will appear behind the sign-in screen. It will appear behind the Q&A feed, and it will also appear behind your live polls. Simply click where it says background image and upload a file. I've chosen a beach image to appear behind our polls and our Q&A feed. Down the right-hand side, you will see there are additional interaction options. You can turn on Q&A, which will allow your audience to submit questions to the speaker. You can moderate that question feed to ensure only approved questions are visible to the audience. You can turn on slide likes, which will allow your audience to like individual slides, very valuable data for your speakers. We can activate Twitter by just typing in your event's hashtag. We can choose to live tweet our slides. We can give the audience the ability to download our content, as well as the ability to take personalized notes. Next, we have 3 security options. 1, you can password protect your session. 2, you can choose, do I want my session to be completely anonymous, or turn on email capture to collect the email address of everyone who joins your session. And 3, we have GDPR capture, which will provide a privacy notice or a consent form for everyone joining your session who provides their email address. Below that, you will see the 4 poll options that Glisser provides. Glisser offers 4 different types of polls: multiple choice, star rating, free text, and an image picker. We will set up 1 of each. Simply pick the type of poll you'd like to insert. So I'm going to grab the multiple choice option and drag and drop it into the appropriate place in your session. Next, you will want to type in your question. So we're going to do, what ice cream flavor do you like best? And you can type in your answer options. So let's go with my favorite, chocolate. Click Enter after you've typed it in. We can add additional options. We'll put in vanilla, strawberry. Once you've put in all of your options, You can leave it as an opinion poll, or you can select a correct answer that you will display to the audience. Finally, you will want to decide, is my poll mandatory? Meaning, does my audience need to answer it before they move on to the next poll or the next slide? Do I want to give my audience the ability to change their answer while the poll is still live? There's an additional option, live share poll results. If you turn this option on, it will push the results of the poll to the audience devices. So we'll leave that off for now. And last, you can make a customization to your poll to include an image. By default, Glisser will include a picture of a hand holding a cell phone. You can remove the image entirely, or you can upload a custom image. Once you have done this, your poll is ready to go. Click Save in the top right-hand corner. Now let's add a star rating. Again, select your poll type, drag and drop the poll to the appropriate place, type in your question, decide if it should be 5 or 10 stars, if it is mandatory or not, if you'd like your audience to be able to change their answer, or if you'd like to push the results to the audience devices. And once you're done, go ahead and click Save. Next, let's insert a free text poll. We'll just say what other information would be helpful. You can, again, mandatory or not, answer changes and pushing the results to the audience device. One thing to note with a free text poll is this poll cannot be moderated. So something to keep in mind if you are intending to put these results up on the main screen. And last but not least, let's add an image picker poll. So very similar to multiple choice, but with pictures. So let's see, what Glisser city do you want to visit? And to upload your images, click on the cloud icon and upload your options. So we're going to include the 3 cities that Glisser has offices, our headquarters in London, our US HQ in New York City, and our new office in Portland. One important note to make is be sure to add a caption to each one of your image polls. Again, we can select a correct answer if we'd like, and then click Save. So now we've added 4 different polls, and directly next to the poll slides, we're going to click Content Slides so you can see what additional things you can add to your Glisser session. Maybe I want to add a video poll. Simply drag and drop the video into my session, and you need to copy and paste an embed code. So we're just going to go to YouTube. We're going to grab a Glisser video, copy the embed code, and paste it here. You can choose to autoplay or not. And then, since we don't want to play the video on everyone's personal devices, we do want to add some text that will appear on your audience members' personal devices while the video plays on the main screen. If you don't want to do that, and you do actually want to push the video to everyone's devices, simply click Share to Audience Device. We're going to leave that off for now and just input some text here to appear on everyone's personal devices. And click Save. Lastly, I want to show you how we could add additional content to an already created Glisser session. You'll notice PDF and PowerPoint options are both here. We're just going to grab PDF and add it into the session wherever we'd like. And then just upload a file and click Save. And that's all you need to do to add additional content to an already existing session. You can also delete content. So maybe you have slides that need to be changed or updated. Just click on the old slide and click the delete button. We've now completed all of the settings for our Glisser session, and we click Save and Exit. Our session is now ready to go live. To present your session in Glisser, click on it so it highlights in orange, and click Present on the right-hand side of the screen. This will automatically populate the hotkeys, which you use to navigate Glisser. So we will come back to those. And we will put the main Glisser URL up on the screen for everyone to see. So at this point, you will ask your audience, please join our Glisser session using our customized URL. So it's glsr.it/Glisser2. And you will ask your audience to either type the entire URL into their personal device, whether it be a mobile phone, a tablet, or a laptop. Or if you're already logged into Glisser, as I am here, I'm simply going to type in the Glisser specific code and click join. What you're seeing on the right-hand side of your screen now is what we call the Glisser audience view. This is what your audience will see on their personal device. They will see, as you'll recall, we chose the dark theme with the Glisser logo and the orange highlight color. So if you made adjustments to your customization, they would appear here. We turned email capture on, meaning our audience is asked for their email address at point of sign-in. And they can log into the session. Once there, your audience has a number of options. At the top, they will be able to see all of your slides as you present them live. Below that will be the question feed. So as questions start to populate, they will appear here. At the bottom of the screen, you have 5 different icons. This is how you can your audience can interact with you through their Glisser session. If you click on the Twitter logo, you'll notice that the hashtag auto-populates. They can click on the question bubble and ask a question. Simply type in the question and click send. Next to that, you'll see 4 boxes. This is where the slides will appear as they are presented. We're only on slide 1, so only the first slide appears. Next to that is the pencil icon where they can take notes. Your audience will receive these notes at the conclusion of the presentation. The heart icon is what will allow your audience to like individual slides. So again, on the right-hand side of the screen is our audience view and how your audience can interact with you. Now let's move on to how to present using Glisser. So we've now asked our audience to join our session and we're ready to present. Either using a clicker or the forward arrow, you can move into your Glisser session. To run the use of Glisser, you're going to use hotkeys. Hotkeys are simply pressing a button on your laptop to tell Glisser what to do. We'll cover each one of these today, but if at any point you forget what the hotkeys are, click the H button on your laptop or keypad to bring the hotkeys up on the screen. The very first one of note is to click the number 1 button. Number 1 will move your presentation in and out of full screen mode. I'm now going to use the forward arrow or the clicker to move to my first slide. I can use my forward arrow or my clicker to move to the second slide, and you will notice this will now start to update on the audience devices. In the top right corner of our screen, the audience URL appears. You can keep this up there as a very easy reminder in case your audience forgot the URL or maybe joined the session late. And we can simply remove it by clicking on the X. Now, as we've gotten some questions and some tweets in during our session, I want to show you how you can display those on the presenter machine. So let's fast forward and pretend we're at the end of our session and it's time for Q&A. I can simply hit the number 3 button to bring up all of the questions that have come through in the audience device. You'll notice the audience can navigate to the questions on their phone by clicking on the chat bubble. They can upvote these individual questions, and the questions will appear on the main presenter display by clicking on the number 3 button. They will automatically appear in order of most votes. We can switch the view by clicking on the clock icon to show the most recent questions, or we can click on the cloud to show a word cloud. As more text comes in through the Q&A feed, this cloud will update with questions with words most populated showing in a larger font and a different color. To take the question feed down, we simply hit the number 3 button. We can do the same for Twitter. The hotkey to bring up the Twitter feed is the number 4. Just as with Q&A, the Twitter feed can also be moderated. Hitting the number 4 button again will take this feed down. Now let's move on to our live polls. As you'll remember, we inserted 4 polls, and I'm just going to click the forward arrow to move to our first poll. You'll see the audience has the response options on their phone. They can click on an option and click send. And then whenever I, the speaker, am ready, I'm going to hit the space bar to show our results. We can see the results coming in real time. And if I want to show the correct answer to the audience, I click on the R button. So R for reveal to show the correct answer to the audience. So that's how polling works. To move on to our next poll, I'm going to use my clicker or my forward arrow to navigate through the next slide and on to the next poll, our rating poll. Your audience can select a number of stars, click send, and again, whenever I'm ready, I hit the space bar to show the results. We can move ahead to our third poll, which is an open text poll. And this will allow your audience to respond as they'd like and click send. Again, you can show these results on the screen by hitting the space bar. So now let's move on to our fourth and final poll, which was an image poll. You'll see the answer options appear on the screen. You can click an answer and click send as an audience member. And whenever I, the speaker, am ready, again, I just hit that space bar to show the results. If I'd like, I can click the R button for reveal. So we've now completed our 4 polls. Glisser also has a leaderboard feature. So if you'll remember, 2 of our polls we did select have correct answers, and we revealed those correct answers to the audience. Well, Glisser has been tabulating the results in the background to keep track of who has answered the most questions correctly. And by clicking on the 6 hotkey, that's the number 6, I can show our leaderboard in real time. So this is a list of who have answered the most poll questions correctly. So a bit of fun and gamification. Next, let's move on to our video. We inserted a video into Glisser that we put on autoplay. And as soon as we get to the video, it will start to run. Again, we chose not to let it run on the audience device. They will see the video text. And then whenever I'm ready, I can either let the video complete or using my clicker, move past it. I have now moved to my final slide as a Glisser presenter. Upon doing so, you'll notice the audience view has changed, and you will now have the option to download my slides. Now, if you took notes, you will receive the notes as well. If you click this download icon, you will immediately receive an email in your inbox from Glisser. That email will have a PDF download link, and the body of the email will have any of your personalized notes. We've now completed presenting our Glisser session and also going through what the audience will experience. So let's go back and look at a few final things in the Glisser account. So I'm going to leave our presentation, go back to the main dashboard, and I want to highlight how you moderate Q&A. So to moderate Q&A, first thing you need to do is go into your session by clicking Edit and turn moderation on. Save and exit. And on the right-hand side of the screen, click Moderate. This is the view your moderator will have to view all of the questions being submitted by the audience. They can deny questions, approve questions, edit questions, but keeping in mind that when moderation is on, only approved questions will be visible to the audience. Moderation also works for Twitter. We can approve the tweets that will be visible in Glisser. And that's how you moderate a Glisser session. Coming back to our main dashboard, there are a few additional options on the right-hand side of the screen. We've already discussed edit, that's how we set the session up. Present is how we go live. Reset data can be very helpful as you're testing in the days leading up to your event. You can set up your Glisser session and run tests on Q&A and polling. And when you're done, simply click Reset Data to remove all of the test data. Your session will remain completely set up with all of your polls and Q&A, but you will have a fresh feed. We've already discussed moderation. You can duplicate a session. And last but not least, the analytics. We click on the analytics and we can view all of the interaction that took place in our Glisser session. I can see a list of attendees, their email address, and a time and date stamp of when they attended. I can see a list of who downloaded my content as well as who took notes. I have a view of all of the questions that were asked during our Glisser session. I can see what was accepted, rejected, and what's still pending. I can see all of the different slides that were liked, both by user and by slide. I can see all of the tweets that came through. I can click on polling and click into each and every different poll that I asked. Within each poll, you can see the different answer options, and you can click into each answer option to see who answered in that fashion. When you're done, you can go to the quizzing section and actually see who won on your leaderboard, who answered the most poll questions correctly. And last but not least, all of this information can be very easily downloaded into a CSV. So now we're just going to go back to our presentation dashboard. We've now covered everything from signing into your Glisser account, adding a session, editing the session, adding Q&A and polling, and reviewing the analytics. I hope this was helpful, and thank you for joining.